Hello explorers and welcome to another video. Today is gonna be a little bit of a different video. It's gonna be more focused on the specific topic that we have today, and it's not gonna be anything directly involving coding or any specific technology, just some tips and tricks for staying at home, working at home, and so on. So, as we have it today, there is a lot of people in the workforce that are either required or that have a company that suggests that you work from home. For instance, the company that I work for, they have told us to, if it's possible for us to work from home, it's preferred to work from home. And we are a company that is going more to, or at least are very friendly against working at home, and we have prepared for this, and we are still in the startup phase. Everybody is not experts in working at home, and we are not in any means anyone that have done this for years and years. So there are many people that have done this much longer than us, but at least we have given it some thought. So the first thing that you need to figure out is, what do I need to actually do my work from home? We are developers, we are people that create stuff. Either we are creating stuff that is public, so they're on GitHub or everybody have access to them, then perhaps the only thing we need is a computer. In my case, I work for a company that has some resources that is only available in the company network. But there is a kind of software service called a VPN, a virtual private network, that you can connect into your office, and you can actually be able to reach different resources that could only be reached inside of that network. A VPN can be good to have for your private use as well, if you have ISPNs or other people that might snoop on your traffic, then you might, or ISPs that snoop on your traffic, then you might use it in a private setting as well. But in my specific case, I needed some resources at work, so they set up a VPN. I asked them for access to the VPN, and they created an account and created some keys that you could use for this and so on. And the setup will differ from company to company, but if you ask the IT department, they are probably able to give you VPN access. Of course, you will need a computer at home. It can either be that you are working with your own home computer, and in my case, I don't do that. I actually use my company laptop and work from that. There are multiple reasons. First off, my company can afford to give me a laptop, so I can use that at home. A laptop is usually cheaper than actually paying for a specific developer. So that could be a good point to point out to your boss or so on, that I need to work at home, I need a laptop, can you provide me with one? Buying some hardware is often much cheaper than having a workforce. And another reason is that I actually want to separate my home and work environment. So a laptop is good in that case. My laptop is encrypted. So if you are actually working from home or working at another client, or you're traveling between different parts, find a way to encrypt your laptop. I have full disk encryption on my laptop, so that's a good way to keep you safe and keep the data for your company safe. So that's a good measure to put into your system. When I work from home, I use this studio that I have here, and in my studio I have my working computer or my home computer that I record all these videos on and so on. So how do I use this to do my work? Well, I connect my laptop to one screen, and then I connect my home setup to the other screen. So I can switch over to my laptop and my home screen. I have two different screens at home, and I use both computers simultaneously. And by setting up a program called Synergy, and this is free, I think there might be a paid tier as well, but it's an open source, or at least were an open source project, and it was free. So you can set that up on both computers, where one is the server, where you have your keys, keyboard and your mouse, and then you have a client connecting to the server over the networks, so they are on the same network. That is important. Then the client can be remotely directed by using just your keyboard and mouse on your server. So if I, on my normal computer, drag the mouse over to the edge of the screen, it actually enters into the other screen on my laptop, and I can do all my work on that laptop. So I can easily switch back and forth between the different my main computer and the laptop in order to do this kind of work. So that's a setup that you can use from home if you have two computers. Next up, you need communication. Communication is key. So either you have some kind of way to put your code in a global repository. And in this case, you can use Gitea, you can use GitLab, GitHub, if that's a choice for you, where you put all your code, where you do your code review and so on, and make that transparent for your co-workers so you can work together on the same piece of code. That's a good practice. Then you might need some way to keep track on what kind of work you need to do, and there is a lot of online services for that as well. We use Trello, but there is a lot of them where you can keep track on tasks, which people are doing what, and assign tasks to them. And when you're working in a remote setting, that is also more important, because everybody needs to know what they need to do and who's working on what. So transparency in what kind of work is being done and who's doing what is also very important. Next up, you need a way to easily ask a question, either by chatting, typing things out, or talking through some means. And there is a lot of different chat applications. You can use IRC, you can use Skype, you can use Slack, you can use, there is a lot of chat applications that work fine, but nothing really beats talking to each other. Talking and using your voice and even using video can convey even more information and can make the communication smoother. So what do you need in order to have a good home communication? You need to remove as much noise as possible. If you have, like me, a studio, that's a really good setup, because then you will have already thought about removing noise and removing distractions. If you can't, if you need to work, let's say, in your kitchen with all your kids around you and all that things, so you have a lot of distractions, a lot of noise, then try to keep the volume low, talk much stronger, so you don't need to talk louder, but use a stronger voice, use a clearer voice, talk slowly and deliberately, and you will make yourself heard and understood. So more noise, more clarity. And if you can, use headphones. Headphones is key. You don't need to have the best mic. It's good for your coworkers if you have a better mic, because then you won't destroy their ears. Because we had a call today where one of our coworkers had just his laptop mic on high settings with a lot of noise, and that was painful for the people that had their headsets on. But if you can use your headset and a good mic, then you will actually give your coworkers a good environment as well, because you don't have any loopback, don't have any noise going back on the line, so there will be echoes and so on, as you can have if you're just using your speakers. And if you have a good mic, your coworkers will hear what you are saying clearly. So if you're working from home, see if you can find a reasonable mic, a reasonable headphones, and that will make everything much cleaner and better for your coworkers. And there is a lot of services out there that you can use for talking and having meetings and so on. We have used Join Me, we have used Microsoft Teams, we have used Skype, we have used Slack, and all those services you can talk on. And if you are a gamer and you have played, for instance, Call of Duty or perhaps Counter-Strike or something like that, you might have used a service called Discord. And Discord should not be used for anything where you're selling things. So commercial use is not allowed on Discord. But if you're using it as a chat channel for your company just to keep in touch, I think that is a valid choice or a valid way to use it. And the good thing with Discord is that it has a level noise to voice ratio. It can actually figure out when you are speaking or mute the mic if you're not speaking. And you can also have push to talk, so you press a button. In my case, I actually use a game controller and push a button in order to put my talk on. So I push that button and I can talk to my teammates. And in that way, you can be in a channel with other developers and you just push that button and say something and they will hear it and they can respond. And that can be a very fast way to actually get something just figured out and get on with the actual work that you need to do. So these were some of the tips that I could give on how to work online. Remember, your colleagues are in the same situation as you. We are all working from home, or most of us are working from home, and we need to talk to each other to do work. We need to reach out, we need to be able to ask questions, and perhaps in some cases you just need to talk to another human. You might just reach out to be friendly and have a chat about whatever, because that is what you need just right now, and that should also be fine. Just because you are working from home, it's not a more professional setting than if you were in the office. So remember, working from home, you can call anyone, anytime, and just chat if that is something that you need in order to progress your workday. So this was what I wanted to talk about today. I hope that you found this video interesting. I hope that you learned something. If you have any suggestions, comments, or alike about how to work from home, perhaps you have better ideas or you have something that we can together use to be even more productive when we're working from home, then leave that in the comment section down below so everybody can read it. If you like this video, give it a like, share it with your friends and colleagues. If you haven't subscribed yet, then please do that. And I really hope to see you in the next video.